Bill Belichick in North Carolina. A month ago, whomst amongst us is guessing that this is a headline. So let me cut to the chase. Bill Belichick wants to coach in the NFL again. I think most people around football understand that. You probably don't have to have been around football to understand that. There don't appear to be any immediate head coaching jobs opening that either he can get or that he wants. But the North Carolina job's open, and apparently Bill Belichick wants it. I have viewed this with skeptical eyes from the beginning. I still do, but there is a lot of smoke here, a lot of smoke. So let's walk through what we've heard, because what we heard today was interesting to some and an eye roll to others. There were a lot of rumblings out there today that, hey, well, first off, there were rumblings that we could hear something last night, and then there were rumblings the night before that we could hear something. And what's obvious is a lot of cooks in the kitchen. It is North Carolina athletics, after all. So there are a lot of cooks in the kitchen. And Bill Belichick wants it, but he wants it conditionally. And there are reports, unconfirmed reports, that maybe he wants a head coach in waiting title for his son. I don't know if that's true or not. It's just being bandied about like a tumbleweed rolling around on Twitter and the internet and message boards, etc. But what's more realistic is it's highly likely Bill Belichick has a lot of guarantees that he wants in place. That's not uncommon. If I were taking the North Carolina head coaching job, I'd want a lot of guarantees. Namely, I want to be able to be guaranteed that I'm going to be competitive in revenue sharing and NIL. I want to be able to put together a competitive roster. That's what it's all about. So he wants that. Not a shot. But earlier today, there were a lot of reports that he had delivered a 400-plus page Bible to North Carolina that detailed the structure that he wanted and payment plans and how he was going to staff and more. And this caught a lot of eyes, and it raised a lot of eyebrows, and it shouldn't have, because this is very common when you're trying to get a job in coaching or elsewhere. True story here. I cannot share specifics. But once upon a time, I had a little insight into management's interview process at this company. Not management interviewing someone, although I've sat in on that as well, but I sat in on management being interviewed for the job. Fascinating process. Management came to the table equipped, and he had a plan for how he was going to do this and that, and he had answers to every question before we finished the sentence, and that's how you get a job. That's how you get the job done in the interview process. And so it's no different in coaching. You got to be able to answer the questions in many cases that you know are coming your way before they even come. And frankly, you need to know the questions that they don't even need to know to ask. Because an athletic director or a board of trustee member has never coached a down of football in their life in most cases, and yet they're going to hire you and then maybe fire you based on your ability to do all that. So Bill Belichick has all these grandiose ideas. And to someone who's not well versed in this process, you say, oh man, 400 pages. This dude's revolutionary. In what respect? That's my question. In what respect is Bill Belichick bringing anything revolutionary to the table at North Carolina? I don't have a particularly awesome feeling about it. Although I do have a couple of North Carolina brethren who disagree. I just want to know, what is it that is overtly special that Bill Belichick is going to bring to the table? No. Hold on, let me finish. I didn't ask what's special about his Wikipedia page. I didn't ask what's special about the fistfuls of rings that he has. I didn't ask anything about the past. I'm asking as it relates to being a college football head coach, 2025 and beyond, at a second-tier institution football-wise, in the third or fourth best conference in America right now. What is it that's revolutionary or groundbreaking that he's going to bring to the table? Because I know what the sell point is. The sell point is, hey, if college football is transactional now, if college football is like NFL light, if it's all about staying inside the cap, understanding how to allocate budget, understanding how to build and construct a roster, understanding how to staff a front office, if you think knowing that stuff's revolutionary, you need to go take a look at the University of Texas. You need to understand how Oregon's operating, or Ohio State, or Alabama, or in your own conference. You need to take a stroll around the halls at a Miami. I'm not even saying all these places are winning at a high level. I'm just saying, if you think understanding how to build the organization to mirror the Sunday game is revolutionary, Dudes, they got people inside the building at North Carolina who have already been doing that. Maybe not at a high enough level. Maybe they weren't turned loose enough. Maybe they weren't given proper resource enough to make you notice or be competitive. But guys, I talk to these folks every week. I go to conventions with them. Like, I listen to the closed town hall Q&A sessions. I've sat in on the panels. This is old news. Like, understanding that you've got to construct a college football front office to mirror the NFL and bringing NFL people in to either consult with or outright build it for you, that's old news. That's old news. So that's not revolutionary. It sounds like it because you rarely get to see under the hood of the car. You just see whether it runs correctly or not. I'm in a position where I do get to see under the hood. That stuff's not revolutionary. So next, are you bringing some revolutionary offense in? You bringing some revolutionary defense in? Do you have a relatability or a connectability with high school prospective student athletes that your peers in the conference don't have? I'm open to be sold on that, by the way. I just don't necessarily think that's Bill Belichick's forte. By the way, as you attract talent to Chapel Hill, at every turn, the programs you're competing against are going to be in kids' ears saying, he's going to the NFL the moment he hits the exit door. Now, the counter to that is, Josh, that would matter in the old recruiting structure. That's not going to matter in 2025 and beyond. It's all transactional now. You know, you're just going to sign free agents to one-year deals at a time. And if a kid hears that the head coach is leaving in a year, it really won't matter to him because he can leave as well. That's true, but that's not how you build a winner. The misnomer out there is that now that college football is transactional, is a really popular phrase and buzzword right now. Now that college football is just like the NFL, relationships don't matter so much anymore. You know, roster continuity doesn't matter so much anymore. It's BS. It's wrong. That's incorrect. Oh, you can go get players that way, and you can win some games that way, but I want you to pay special attention to the little tournament we have coming up called the College Football Playoff, and I want you to watch as that field thins out. I want you to watch the teams at the end because they will be deep-pocketed, and they will have paid a lot of money for that roster, but they will not have always been the highest bidder, contrary to what the headlines say. They will not have always been the highest bidder. What they will have done is they will have offered close to fair market value for kids, but they will have sold kids on playing for the brand, the logo, and what that logo means and the culture that it reflects. And they will have gotten kids to buy into that. And there is, again, a misnomer out there that's bygone. That concept of creating a culture and then immersing kids in the culture, no, dude, that's 2021 stuff. That's old recruiting fantasy stuff. Now it's just paying kids the most money and having them come in mercenary style, and you just work for the paycheck, and it's no different than clocking in at a 9 to 5 like the pro guys do it on Sunday. Yes, it is different. Yes, it is different. And I'd suggest to you that even at the Sunday level, the strongest cultures disproportionately win and therefore pick low in the draft come draft time. And then the weaker cultures are always in the top 10 picking, unless you had massive quarterback injuries and whatnot. So I'm not saying Bill Belichick can't succeed at the college level. I got no clue if he can. It's really hard to do it. I got no clue if he can. But I'm telling you, there's nothing revolutionary in concept about the ideas that a lot of people are throwing out about this. So we'll see if he gets the job. But if he does, you've got to be doing something different, or you've got to be doing something that others are doing, but you've got to be doing it at a higher level than them. That's the part I'm not necessarily sold on with the idea of Bill Belichick in North Carolina.